Ashikaga Yoshiaki continued to claim the title of shogun even after being exiled by Nobunaga. Behind this tenacity lay his final hope for the restoration of the Muromachi Shogunate. Yoshiaki was exiled from Kyoto in 1573, yet he only officially resigned his position as shogun in 1588. He held the title for a remarkable 15 years, but, in fact, hidden within this was Yoshiaki's secret strategy, one even Oda Nobunaga was unaware of. What was the true meaning behind his unwavering claim to the shogunate? Why did Yoshiaki use Nobunaga? What was his reason for continuing to claim the title after his exile? And when did the Muromachi Shogunate truly fall? This video will unravel these mysteries. Now let us delve into the truth. In the main segment, we will also explore the difficult path Yoshiaki walked before encountering Nobunaga. Ashikaga Yoshiaki was born as the younger brother of the 13th shogun, Yashiteru. However, his early life was spent in forced monastic training, far removed from power. But in 1565, the Iroku incident erupted. Shogun Yashiteru, his elder brother, was shockingly assassinated by Matsunaga Hisahide and his forces. Matsunaga Hisahide, aiming for the shogun's seat, attempted to capture Yoshiaki as well. Escaping by the skin of his teeth, Yoshiaki, aided by Hosokawa Fujitaka and others, resolved to return to secular life. He then began to harbor ambitions of becoming the new shogun, rallying under the banner of avenging his brother and restoring the Muromachi Shogunate. However, he lacked the military strength and territorial base to rely on. He sought cooperation from various daimyo, but everyone was aware of the Ashikaga Shogunate's decline. Yoshiaki sought refuge with Asakura Yashikage of Ekizan, but Yashikage was reluctant to march on Kyoto. The situation was truly a dead end. The position of shogun was not one Yoshiaki was originally meant to inherit. Why, then, did he cling so tenaciously to the shogunate? Appearing before the embattled Yoshiaki was Oda Nobunaga, the maverick warlord of Owari. Nobunaga readily agreed to assist Yoshiaki. In 1568, Nobunaga marched on Kyoto, escorting Yoshiaki. With this military backing, Yoshiaki finally ascended as the 15th Muromachi Shogun. As shogun, Yoshiaki attempted to use Nobunaga as a banner for his Tenka Fubu, unification of the realm by military force, ambition. And Nobunaga, in turn, sought to leverage the shogun's authority for his own aspirations. However, their honeymoon period was short-lived. Nobunaga gradually began to disregard the shogun's authority, forcefully implementing his own policies. Yoshiaki realized Nobunaga intended to make him a puppet, and his resentment grew. His pride as shogun had been wounded. The relationship between the shogun and Nobunaga harbored the seeds of collapse from the beginning, due to fundamental differences between them. To oust Nobunaga, Yoshiaki secretly sought alliances with anti-Nobunaga forces. The planning of the so-called Nobunaga encirclement had begun. Asakura Yashikage, Azai Nagamasa, Takeda Shingen, and Mori Teramoto. Yoshiaki used the shogun's authority to mobilize these daimyo against Nobunaga. However, Nobunaga sensed these movements. He preempted them, systematically crushing anti-Nobunaga forces across various regions. In 1573, Nobunaga finally attacked Nijo Gasho, Yoshiaki's residence. Surrounded by Oda forces, Yoshiaki was compelled to surrender. Nobunaga did not kill Yoshiaki but merely exiled him from Kyoto. This Tensho first-year exile marked the de facto end of the Muromachi Shogunate. Why did Nobunaga choose exile over execution for Yoshiaki? There were strategic calculations behind Nobunaga's decision. After his exile, Yoshiaki sought refuge with Mori Teramoto in Tamanura, Bingo province. Yet, he never abandoned his claim to the shogunate. In Tamanura, courtiers and samurai loyal to Yoshiaki gathered, formally maintaining the shogunate's organization. He was still shogun. With the Mori clan's backing, Yoshiaki continued to issue commands to anti-Nobunaga forces throughout the land. His existence remained a significant threat to Nobunaga. When Nobunaga met his demise in the Honnoji incident, Yoshiaki briefly gained an opportunity to return to Kyoto. However, the realm was already in the hands of Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Hideyoshi attempted to leverage Yoshiaki's authority as shogun. Yet, Yoshiaki refused to yield the shogun's seat to Hideyoshi. Why did Ashikaga Yoshiaki persist in his claim to the shogunate even after Nobunaga's exile? The reason lay in the destiny of the Ashikaga clan that he bore. In 1588, Hideyoshi finally persuaded Yoshiaki to accept the position of Kampuku, chief imperial advisor, and urged his resignation as shogun. Yoshiaki accepted, formally resigning his post as shogun. Ashikaga Yoshiaki's resignation as shogun did not signify the demise of the Ashikaga Yoshiaki attempted to use Nobunaga to fulfill his own ambitions. However, Nobunaga's relentless drive for unification of the realm far surpassed Yoshiaki's imagination. His continued claim to the title after his exile was his last hope for restoring the Muromachi Shogunate and demonstrating the legitimacy of the Ashikaga Shogun family. Therefore, it can be said that the Muromachi Shogunate effectively met its demise in 1573, when Shogun Yoshiaki was driven from Kyoto. Yet, even into Hideyoshi's era, Yoshiaki continued to claim the shogunate until his formal resignation. His lingering regret is immeasurable. He never relinquished his Ashikaga lineage and the justification of being shogun until the very end, for that was the essence of his existence. If Nobunaga had respected Yoshiaki as shogun, history might have unfolded very differently. But that was not to be. Ashikaga Yoshiaki was a tragic figure, the last shogun of the Muromachi Shogunate, caught and tossed by the turning tides of history. Perhaps his unfulfilled ambition quietly heralded the end of the Muromachi Shogunate era.